What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into another video. My name is Josh and I am just your average Joe day trader. Guys, we had a really good market day today. I was a little bit concerned this morning when we woke up. The market had some opportunities where things were running a bit green. Several things were running a bit red. But by the time we got to the market bell, things started to move, but it was a slow moving day. Things were not really creeping up or creeping down. You sort of were just sitting and watching things tend to be a bit in an uptrend. Some of the best day trade stocks that I share with you guys every video did perform very well. Great opportunities to make some money, especially the second half of the day, the second half of the market day. After, I don't know, about 1:30, 2 o'clock, things started to really take off. And I'm going to tell you one I was super excited about when I get there, but one that I'm finally in the green on. I bought as a longer hold, but an opportunity, and it's finally taken off, and I think it's going to continue on that route, and I'm going to share that with you guys. But just to kind of give you a little bit of an update of what the stock market did as far as closing tonight, the S&P 500 closed at 6227, so a very good performance for the S&P 500. It ended up at 0.47% up. The NASDAQ closed at 0.94% up, 20,393. And the Dow Jones actually almost flat, negative 0.02% at 44,484. But overall, a very good market day. Like I said, towards the end of the day, things were popping. The quantums were popping, tech stocks were popping. And that's the sector I live in, guys. If you don't know, if you haven't seen my videos before, I live in the tech sector. I love to talk about the tech stocks, APLD, NVIDIA, BBAI, all the AIs. So technology today actually was 29.77% up today, with financial services right behind it, which is, I'm going to share that with you a little bit too, 15.70%. Healthcare was down today, almost 0.60%, 0.59%, which is kind of surprising, because healthcare, there's some good things happening with United Healthcare, and a lot of talk about people wanting to get back into United Healthcare. And that has been sort of driving that sector, but not today. So there wasn't really a whole lot in the news today that you would say was going to cause the market to run one way or the other. I can tell you that one thing that was announced today was that with the tariffs, Trump had said that the U.S. reached a trade deal with Vietnam. And obviously the deadline is looming. July 9th is the deadline for this pause, this hold on the tariffs across the board. So, basically investors are looking for more deals ahead of this July 9th deadline, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Trump also basically said that he was not sure we were going to end up in any type of a trade deal with Japan, that they're very tough, his words. He says, quote unquote, "I doubt it with Japan. They're very tough. You have to understand they're very spoiled." So I don't know what that means, but basically, Trump renewed the threats that he's going to stick to his self-imposed July 9th deadline for making the trade deals. And he's going to issue new tariffs once that deadline comes. So we'll see what happens past this July 9th deadline. And hopefully the market doesn't react to potentially another Liberation Day. The other thing Trump said is he's going to write letters to a lot of the countries, reminding them and kind of sharing with them about the fact that the deadline is approaching for these tariff deadlines. Meantime, the European Union has signaled it is willing to accept a 10% universal tariff on many of its exports, but it's also seeking exemptions for pharmaceuticals, alcohol, semiconductors, which everybody wants, and commercial aircraft as part of that deal. On the North American front, Canada actually has scrapped its digital service tax that was set to affect a large U.S. technology companies. And the White House said that trade talks between the two countries had resumed after Trump threatened to cut off any trade talks with them. So still the concern about the tariffs and all that going on. But that's pretty much it as far as news or anything that potentially could have impacted the news. Let's go ahead and take a look at the charts a little bit. First of all, so here is the S&P 500 from today. And you can see that yesterday, not too bad, a little volatility. Again, I'm in the 15-minute chart, some up and down throughout the day in the S&P 500. It was a bit of a rocky ride. Then the post market, it continued sort of on an uptrend. And even in the overnight market, it came down a little bit and then it launched. I mean, it literally went from a low of $617, okay, or 61.73, all the way in this post market after hours to 61.97, $619.75. And then in the pre-market, when we opened up at 4 a.m., it took a hard drop down. And then literally the S&P 500 did nothing but run, vertical up for the rest of the day, and is still running up, as you can see now, basically at 9:09 p.m. It's still on an uptrend, closed at 620 and 45 cents, or 6204, and is sitting at 6206, or $620.65 right now at this time. Let's very quickly look at some of the best day trade stocks as far as the average Joe list. Guys, Ford, I told you yesterday, and this is kind of crazy, right? Because I don't typically trade Ford daily. I trade Ford maybe once or twice a week based on the trend. A lot of times I see a retest on Ford and I get back into it and I make money in Ford. But this is 2 solid days in a row. Look at this, was yesterday. Okay, beautiful, nothing but uptrend, stayed horizontal, maintained horizontal through the post, the overnight into the pre-market, and ran up all day today. I mean, like, what is going on with Ford? There's not any specific news that created any type of an uptrend for Ford, but Ford is doing very well. So I'm going to be taking a look at Ford tomorrow, because again, it's now running horizontal again, and we'll see. Tomorrow morning may be a day for Ford. And remember, guys, this is a reminder, tomorrow's a half day for the market. We close at 1 p.m. and we don't reopen again until Sunday night at 8 p.m. So if anything's going to happen, it's going to be tomorrow morning. Don't wait too late in the day to try to get in and get out. SoundHound did really incredible today. Look at this beautiful run, $10.34, all the way to a high today of $11.34. Nice run, basically a whole dollar per share. GTX also had a nice run up today. Again, for those of you that don't know what GTX is, Garrett Motion basically does turbochargers for high-end cars, and they use some AI technology in their turbochargers. So they had a pretty decent day to make some money in it, small. Serve Robotics, not the best for Serve Robotics, right? They still ran up, not too bad. Had a nice late afternoon day, like most of the other stocks I've been sharing with you. But I didn't pay much attention to Serve Robotics today. And I'll tell you why. I was paying attention to some other things. Okay. APLD, my favorite. Guys, APLD today finally woke up. For all of you that are day trading or long-term holding APLD with me, because you know that's my favorite all-time company, we scored big today, guys. We went from basically $9.71 all the way to a high of $10.63, closed at $10.56, and it's somewhat holding at these levels of support right here. And if it can maintain over $10.27 through the night to the morning, chances are we're going to run up past $11. Don't take my word, not financial advice, just sharing with you what I believe. I'm in and out of these trades. I love these trades. So hopefully it does run up because I am in a long-term portfolio at $11.17. But in this, I day trade it. And I did day trade this today. I got in it on this amazingly large candle, somewhere around $9.95. And I let it run because, guys, I tell you all the time, APLD is one you can almost set and forget about it for the day. Not always. Sometimes it turns and runs hard down, and then you're holding it for a few days or a couple weeks, depending on how it turned. But all the way up to $10.63, I made a really, really nice profit in APLD today. So thank you, APLD. BBAI is another one, continues to impress me. I've shared this with you guys. It recently increased its R&D, its research and development budget by basically four times. It quadrupled the amount of money available to do that. And it has a 31% backlog for sale. So something is big about to happen for BBAI. I can't tell you anything more than that, but absolutely you should be taking a look at it. Do your support and resistance levels on it. But it's been a beautiful, beautiful trend. Let me go to the one the 1-day trend for you just so you can see this. But look at this amazing movement in the last, basically 2 weeks. BBI has done nothing but an up run. Okay, so take a look at it, make some decisions, do your homework, do your research. Don't jump into it because I said so, because that's not what I'm saying. But BBI did do a really beautiful day. IAG, another one, had a really, really good day. This is a gold company, 719 all the way up to a high of $7.48. It's not huge, but it's not as volatile and a good opportunity to make money daily. CX Sab Cement, not the best. Had a pretty nice, candle at the early morning open and continued to run up, but not one I was in. Wolf, WULF, guys, on fire. It broke $5 today. I never thought I would see WULF break $5 again, but it did. And it has been on a constant, look, 3 days in a row of really, really beautiful uptrend increases. Yeah, it went up and it came back down, but then it did its thing, went up, it came back down, and it went all the way up today. It did not come back down. With everything else, it's sitting horizontal now. And if it holds above this $5.04, wow, I can only imagine where this is going to. Grab, good opening, good morning. This is basically a Korean or Japanese, in essence, Uber Eats. They do deliveries, they do car pickups, things like that. Had a rough day, very rough day. Rebounded a little bit at the end of the day, but not anything I was in. And SLDB had a nice run up in the morning. Okay. The reason why I go through and show you most all of these stocks is because I want you to see that I've done all this homework and research to provide you with stocks that I really believe you guys can get in and out of every day. And if you know your support and resistance levels, if you have an understanding of candlestick patterns, I have a ton of videos in here for you guys to go and watch about different candlestick patterns, the most important ones, the ones that will lead you the right direction and show you when to get out if you need to. Then you can make money. You can make money in these stocks every single day. I do. BBAI and APLD today were the two stocks. I bought a huge position in Palantir in the post overnight market. I shared with you guys that I was going to do that, and I did. And it didn't have a whole lot of movement today. I think it went up about $1 plus per share. But hey, a win's a win. And it's not about the $1 plus per share today or this week. It's about potentially where it could go up 20, 40, 80, $100 in the next couple weeks, couple months, or maybe into the beginning of the year. And that's why I bought into Palantir. And there's a lot of good stuff going on with Palantir, but you also have to have a pretty decent sized budget to buy Palantir at $130 something per share. The other thing that I wanted to share with you guys is Apple. And let me just go to my positions here and show this to you. I shared with you guys that I got into Apple. I actually got into Apple at about $206 per share, sitting right now at $212. So I've, in essence, increased by $6 per share. Another pretty decent size, entry for me, and intended as a long-term hold. Because I'm up $6 per share, I'm not selling it, I'm not getting out of it. But I'm going to wait and see kind of what happens after the iPhone 17 is introduced, because potentially it could blow up. And if it does blow up hard, then I'm going to sell out and we'll wash, rinse, and repeat. Here's Palantir for you guys, just so you can see it. Had a really nice day today in Palantir. Very excited about Palantir. And then here's the one I want to share with you guys that really, really, really was exciting today. But I bought a position in Webull. Now, you guys know that this is what you're looking at is a Webull chart. This is my main trading platform, my main brokerage. I use E-Trade, I use Robinhood, but my main account is on Webull. Webull, and I had bought into Webull quite some time ago, and I did, and this is just total full disclosure, Webull had basically run up. Okay, come on, you can move with me. There we go. Okay, Webull had this amazing crank up, and it went all the way to $79.56, okay, back in April 14th, 2025. It dropped hard, and it continued on this downward trend, and I bought it at $13.50, okay? And I thought at that time, man, this is awesome. It was at a point where it had met some support. It stayed at support for a good amount of time. I bought in $13.50, myself, several other guys I trade with in a Discord I belong to. We all bought into it, super excited, and we were literally waiting for the pump back to 70, 80 bucks, like Robinhood. Robinhood's up, I think, over 90 something dollars. We'll look at it before we shut this video down. but we thought it would be like Robinhood. Now, Robinhood's a very different type of a brokerage. They offer a lot more, but okay, Webull is doing great. They're doing great things. They just signed into an agreement with TradingView. So there's a lot going on for them. And we've been waiting for the pop. Finally today, let me go back to my 15-minute. Finally today, guys, look at this monster day. Yesterday, it ran up a little bit, came back down. That's sort of been its trend. Had a nice from 1082, ran all the way up, came back down. But today was basically, it started at about $12.31 and went all the way up to a high of
$14.47.
closed at $14.01. It came back down, went up and came back down a little bit. And it's been on this steady up in the post market to where it's sitting right now at $14.39. So this is not financial advice, but let me share with you my thought and what I am watching for tomorrow. And one of my subscribers, actually, and let me give a shout out to him because he actually just joined, and I really appreciate subscribers joining. All right, here we go. Kevin Herrera, thank you so much for the like and for the subscribe. And you basically asked me, hey, what's your next move for tomorrow? I'm going to answer you in the chat. But what I'm going to tell you my next move for tomorrow is, first and foremost, okay, Webull. I'm basically watching Webull to see if there's going to be an exit point for this one. I don't know that it's necessarily going to continue on this uptrend. If it does hold through the night, most likely it will go up some more tomorrow. But I've got to be careful, and I need to watch it before the market closes at 1. And there's a chance I may just go ahead and take profit on it and pull out and see what happens. Now, sometimes I do end up regretting that decision. Remember, see profit, take profit, don't be greedy, don't overstay your welcome. This is a beautiful, beautiful result and an increase in profit right now based on my, my position. But we'll see. We'll see what happens for that. 100% APLD, I'm in it. BBAI, 100% I'm in it. And Palantir, I'm going to watch to see what happens with Palantir because, like I said, again, I'm up, over $1 per share. I may add more. I am loving what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, what I'm understanding about Palantir. And I really think that with the defense stocks, with the defense budget, things that are happening in the White House, increasing the budget for 2026, specifically on defense, stocks like Palantir and BBAI and UAVS, which is a super, super cheap drone company. I don't recommend for anybody to purchase that. I'm in it and holding. It had a hard drop down, and I'm just waiting to see what it does. But those types of companies generally do very good when defense stock, defense budget things are on a run. So that's my plan for tomorrow, guys. And we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, even Apple, I'm going to kind of keep an eye on Apple and try to understand what I want to do with it. But I'm not really too sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Anyway, guys, listen, thank you so much for being here. If you hadn't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Please hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. I saw that from last night into today, we had about 6 or 7 new subscribers. Guys, thank you so much for subscribing. It doesn't always show me exactly who you are. Would love to give shout outs to every one of you as you join. The other thing is that we are going to be getting ready to launch an Average Joe Day Trader Discord. It will be free. I'm going to figure out to get the link in the description, and potentially we'll just go ahead and let people start signing up. I know I've got 4 or 5 subscribers that have been with me since the beginning that are interested and want to go ahead and get signed up. So we'll probably do that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for this. Looking forward to seeing what the market does for us overnight and into the morning. I'll be watching it when the morning opens. I hope you are too. Josh out. Peace.